Pledge allegiance
to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Almighty and everlasting God, who presides over all things in heaven and earth, come and preside over these deliberations, so that those that make the decisions may be guided by your wisdom.
Thank you, sir. Okay, we have no roll call, so we'll just go right into it. This is a public hearing regarding request for a liquor license transfer from Sam's East Incorporated in Wilkes-Barre Township to Bank Hospitality located at 8 West Market Street, Wilkes-Barre. This is a requirement for the license transfer request. Again, it's a public hearing. Is there anyone here representing Bank Hospitality?
Yes,
Come on up.
Jessica Pleskatch, standing in for Attorney Rogers tonight.
That's fine.
Okay.
Can you repeat your name for the record?
Jessica Pleskatch, it's Pleskach.
And thank you.
And I wasn't sure if before I kind of went over a few things, if you needed a copy of the
You can.
letters that were sent to the
Yes, we do
neighbors?
need that,
Okay.
yes. Yeah.
Thank you. Could you give us a synopsis of the reason for the acquisition of a liquor license at this particular location?
Absolutely. So my client is here. They are looking to have basically a rental space for weddings and other events that would take place here. They're looking to have the liquor license transferred in order to offer liquor and alcoholic beverages for the events that people book. And with regard to that, my client intends on every employee becoming RAMP certified within 30 days of being hired. The program addresses the liquor license or the liquor laws regarding service to minors, service of visibly intoxicated patrons, acceptable forms of identification, and carding practices. I have 2 examples here of some signage that will be posted at the property.
Okay.
Sorry.
That's okay.
I should have given these to you.
Can I exercise him?
I guess I'll just make these applicants exhibit 1. And then, you know, as you know, this is for special events and weddings. The venue will not be open every day. It'll be something that you will need to reserve. My client doesn't intend on anything, any alcohol being served past 11 for most events. So it's mainly the weekends. There may be an occasional weekday. And this is the first step in the liquor license process. My client will have to undergo a rigorous PLCB background check before anything is approved through them. This is just strictly to have the license transferred into the city of Wilkes-Barre. And I know that my client Donna Keys is here. She has prepared just a pamphlet for you just to see what the proposed venue will look like.
On the clock again, Lise.
I'm gonna stand up here like this. Thank you.
Just drag the printer in here.
And then if you, I don't know if you wanted to swear my client in, if you had any questions for her, we'd be happy to answer anything that you may have.
So this is not a walk-in typical restaurant type. This is only for special events. It's not open to the public to just walk in there and be served or food or whatever it may be.
Correct.
Strictly special events,
Correct,
okay.
Oh,
Is
this
that a
is,
different type of license, or is that just I don't know if that would be a different type of license for that type of a venue, or is that just your standard?
It's just a standard license. It would just be an R license. And that's what this license is, but it's just mainly what the applicant wanted to use it for. So this would just be for the special events.
so let me get this straight. Excuse me, Bill.
Sure.
So this is, won't be open to the public. This is only going to be for special events?
Maybe for special events, but we may run some events ourselves.
Now, didn't I read somewhere where it's going to be a rooftop bar or something?
It is rooftop.
I think it is a rooftop. We'll have a rooftop bar out there for the guests that will be attending the wedding.
Okay.
So like a portable
Will the
bar
wedding,
that we could-
will the wedding be on the rooftop or on the first floor?
Pardon me?
Will the wedding be on the roof?
It will be on the roof.
Okay, so this is all gonna take place on the roof? Okay.
Mike,
Sorry, Bill.
Oh, my question primarily is, how many people can this seat? How large of a venue? It's big in there, and big, I know the lobby is large. I'm not so sure about the roof, but
Well, we are still working on exact setup depending on what we're going to do with the remodeling, but we're probably estimating, and that's going to have to come from actually some of our city officials of what our occupancy will be, but we're estimating 150 people.
thank you. Because we are, and this has nothing to do with the liquor license itself, but an event on the roof of that particular building, does that require any zoning or anything like that? And, I mean, this building wasn't originally designed to have a restaurant on the roof, I don't believe, so.
Well, I don't know what the zoning requirements would be for.
Just curious whether there would be any special,
You would think so.
We did meet with.
You would think so.
the
But
city.
Charlie might be able to answer that.
You met with Bill Harris?
Met with Bill Harris.
so
Had everybody over to look at everything, and so we're kind of one step ahead of that, or one step behind that yet. We're
Yeah.
not quite there with what we're doing.
What type of like safety measures would you have like up there?
So we will have, since many of you have been up there, if it's a nice day, it's great to be up there, but if it's windy, I mean,
Yeah.
you can really feel that up there. So we're going to have a wind guard and kind of more of a planter base with like a
Okay.
shield that will be around, because we also don't want that when, you're getting married and all of a sudden,
Right.
the bride's veil blows off or something, like we can't
Yeah.
have that. So we are looking at what exactly the material will be.
Okay.
5 years ago, when I chaired the 250th anniversary of Wilkes-Barre, we used your location. The fire chief went up there to inspect the roof and give us the okay of how many people, and I think we had about 200 people at the time. It was a spectacular event space. It was wonderful to watch the fireworks over Kirby Park from the roof. So I'm exceedingly happy that this will be a rental space opportunity for nonprofits and weddings and all the other things that you want to do up there. My question to you is, what do you call the building? This is a trick question.
It is the bank downtown. If you ask Mendy, it'll be the bank.
Good.
But it's the bank downtown.
I always joke, you can tell how old somebody is in Wilkes-Barre by what they call that building.
Well, I mean, we're going to go back to United Penn. I mean, like, that's going, so.
Yeah, Bill Barrett calls it Miners
Miners, yeah.
National.
not that far.
From his horse and buggy.
Any other
think it's
questions
wonderful,
from
Tom.
council?
Yeah, it looks great. Looks great.
Good.
Tony, but that was inside where we were for that ceremony.
And outside, we're both.
Well, yeah, but it was closed door type thing, and you could open the door and go outside.
Correct.
So the wind wouldn't really affect it.
Yeah, the ballroom.
Well, on there, there's.
I'm the building manager. It's not just a rooftop, there's a big ballroom.
Right.
there.
Yeah, that's what we're talking about.
There's a big ballroom, and you can access the roof.
And then you could go outside of there and walk around. Well, not all the way around, but you
We
can,
have a covered area coming off the one side of the ballroom area.
Oh, that's
And
good.
that's where the ceremony will be. So there'll be a covered walkway and the ceremony. And then on the other side, that will be all wide open. There won't be any roof covering or anything.
got it.
Very good, sounds good.
Just for my curiosity, parking? Where do you have parking?
We
for
have
that
an
many?
attached parking garage.
There's a garage right next door.
Garage right next
So the one next door, okay.
So, yeah.
Perfect.
It's pretty cool.
Very nice.
Anyone else?
Oh,
Okay, this is a public hearing. Anybody here from the public here to comment? I don't see anyone, but, no? And we have the letters from, you
I
have the letters?
They've sent me the check, and all you need to know, if we put the resolution's on the regular session agenda that's gonna follow.
Okay.
If it's approved, I will send it to whoever I've been in touch with.
I think it was
Go-
Amy and,
yeah,
yeah, maybe
it's-
Don as well.
All right.
Thank you, ladies.
Good luck.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. Sir. Okay, we will adjourn until.
Hi, officer.
PM.
I was here when you got sworn in.
Thank you. You have this?
Yeah,
file?
be nice.
Yeah,
actually very nice.
but again, unless you're getting Unless you're renewing your vows.
Well, it'd be really nice if we could get a hotel to accommodate guests of 150 people.
Yeah. Well, we don't have the.
Pledge allegiance.
Allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Almighty and everlasting God, who presides over all things in heaven and earth, come and preside over these deliberations, so that those that make the decisions may be guided by your wisdom.
Thank you, sir. Oh, please.
Mr. Belushko?
Here.
Mrs. McClay?
Here.
Mr. Mirren?
Here.
Mr. Brooks? Mr. Barrett?
Here.
Also in attendance is Mayor George Brown, Administrator Charlie McCormick, Assistant City Attorney Maureen Collins, Assistant City Clerk Tracy Smith, and Administrative Assistant Lisa Sanfilippo. Good evening, welcome to tonight's regular session of council. Please turn off all cell phones. Following are examples of some important council rules. They are not intended to be a complete list. Please adhere as closely as possible to the 5-minute speaker presentation time limit. No persons are allowed to address the council from beyond the rail, except the speaker at the dais who has the floor. Chairperson shall preserve order and decorum and prevent attacks on personalities. The chairperson shall determine all points of order. No persons except city officers or their representatives shall be permitted within the rail during any meeting without the express permission of council. And council kindly asks that the public please vacate the building within 10 minutes after the meeting adjourns. And finally, members of administration, please speak into the microphone.
Okay, we have a few items on the agenda this evening. Is there anyone here who wishes to comment on pending legislation, just on those items alone? Okay, Kathy.
Okay, so we have the consent agenda, which includes the 5 resolutions and the minutes, and we need a motion and a second.
A motion.
Motion by Mr. Belushko, second by Mr. Brooks. Mr. Belushko?
Yes.
Mrs. McClay?
Yes.
Mr. Mirren?
Yes.
Mr. Brooks? And Mr. Barrett?
Yes.
I'll get them
And
out.
then we have one ordinance, which we need a motion and a second.
Motion.
Motion by
Second.
Mr. Barrett, second by Mrs. McClay. Mr. Belushko?
Yes.
I'm sorry, Mrs. McClay?
Yes.
Mr. Mirren?
Yes.
Mr. Brooks? And Mr. Barrett? And that's all of council's business.
New council presentations. Mr. Belushko, welcome this evening.
Maury, thank you,
Nice to see
Mr.
you.
Chairman.
Glad you're a bit with us.
Thank you. I'm happy to be here. You know that. Again, I have my report from the Sanitary Authority. The catch basins will be your first page. The mayor and Charlie have a little bit different. They have a fiscal year papers in front of them. But what I wanted to bring up was the mayor had requested that the Little League, Wilkes-Barre Little League on Richmond Avenue, they had an issues with their catch basins down there. They haven't been cleaned in forever. Some of them were on the field area, behind the fence, I should say, not on the field area, obviously, and some on the street. I asked Sanitary Authority to get down there. They went down there the next day and cleaned 10 catch basins. And now everything's working good down there. I'm just happy that the Little League didn't have any more issues with that, and I was happy about that. But again, as I say each time, if you have any catch basins that are damaged, need to be cleaned, slow, just let me know, and I'll get them. Just send me an email on the locations, and I'll have them down there as soon as possible. Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Thank you, sir. Mr. McClay?
I do, I have a few things. Charlie, 247 North Pennsylvania Ave, they have garbage out again, with no stickers again. So that house is kind of a problem house. And then, are we still doing pothole patching?
Yes.
All of North
I'm
Penn
here,
Ave
right? I
from
made
the
motion.
URS building, all the way up, like, past my house, going towards Lion Brewery, there's tons of potholes, and I'm sure it's probably because of the rain. Most of them are opening back up. And utility cuts. So there's one right by the old Benco Dental, a new utility cut that's now sunken in. And then there is, and the new one, it's not even my district, by Genetti's, by the CYC on Pennsylvania Ave. the water company was there, and that one is raised, like
Oh, that's-
extremely high.
that's
So I don't know if somebody,
Lisa, would you mark that down?
Yeah.
thank you. And then the last thing I have is any update on the bank? The First National Bank.
guess that's it,
Did it
right?
sell? Do we know if it's selling? I think that was, the deadline was the 4th, 5th, or 6th?
Yeah, you're right. The deadline is September
Oh,
5th.
there's something else back here.
Okay.
So we have to close by September 5th, or I'll probably be coming to you with another request to sell it to another developer. Okay? So calendar started ticking.
I think I did them right.
Right, the 30-day grace period, okay. Perfect, thank you.
If I could, I just want to thank Mr. Belusco for taking care of that issue at Little League. They were very appreciative, and they reached out to me, and I made sure that they knew that that was your initiative, Mike, so thank you for doing that. Jess, I'm sorry to cut into your time.
No, no, anytime.
But thank
Any
you, Mayor. And
appreciation is
they're-
always welcome.
Anytime, Mayor, anytime.
Yes, I'm sorry.
I'm good, that's it.
Thank you.
Cut into your time.
Murin.
Yes, I just have a question for the mayor. Could you give us an update on the electric police bikes? The electric police bikes that we just purchased?
Yeah, we want a volunteer from city council to try these out.
I'm in.
As long as they're electric.
Mike said he'll do it.
I did them in.
You know that we
Oh, do it,
purchased
do
6 bikes. The next step is that we have to order special gear for the officers. It's not just wearing the uniform that Officer Santiago has. We ordered the gear. Next thing is a representative from the Capitol Police is coming in to do the training. So we have identified the officers by seniority that have asked to be assigned to that, ordered the gear, and then the training will take place, and then we'll be out on the road with them.
Okay.
Okay?
Thank you. And also, one question for Charlie. Noble Lane, behind GAR, the small alley there, it's in pretty bad condition. If he could take a look at that?
Yes.
Okay, thank you. That's all I have for today.
Thank you, sir. Mr. Brooks?
3 things, then 4. One, Mike, the catch basin at South River and West Ross, they did a cut and then it just collapsed. So there's like a big hole where some utility did a cut right next to it. So there's a gaping hole.
Right next to the catch basin?
Correct. But the water doesn't go into the basin, it goes into the hole. Charlie, 28 West South Street, still high grass and weeds. And then I got a text message just now. I don't have any details, but have Code Health take a drive down, what my text was, take a drive down Hudson Street. I don't know exactly what they're referring to, but there must be a lot of problems on Hudson Street. Yeah, Hudson, right, from Dana down to Lehigh. And then I want to thank my colleagues for voting for the Hazel Street repair walls. My constituents are very excited about this because it's been a problem. Well, not since 1933, but it's definitely been a problem. So I thank you for that. Nothing else, Mr. Chairman.
Mr. Thomas?
You too. And the mayor. I want to thank the mayor too. Thank you, sir.
Handle him.
Anything this evening, sir?
Nothing since Tuesday.
Thank you. The only thing I have is if we can take a look at, I think I brought this up once before, Charlie and the mayor. Wilkes Lane has houses on one side, and the curbing is that blacktop, rolled blacktop, which is deteriorating. And I don't know if we could just patch it up a little bit or make it a little better. I guess the water runs up onto the tree lawns there. I don't know what we can do with it, but maybe we could just tighten it up a little bit. It'd be great. And that's all that I have. Do we have a speakers this evening? Public comment? No. No one signed up? Nope. Anything else, council? Mayor? Anything? You got time. Go ahead.
The whistle?
5 minutes, start the clock now.
I just want to remind council that if you do have potholes you want to report, Lisa is in charge of that, and just give her a call, send her an email, and then Lisa's in contact with our crew that goes out with the hot patch machine, so she's really our contact, so please reach out to her, and she'll be happy to address it. A lot of times they're done the next day.
Great.
But thank you, everybody.
Thank you, Mayor.
Rain, I think they're
Thank
trying
you,
to.
Charlie. Okay, if there's nothing further, we'll take a motion for adjournment.
Motion.
Thank you, sir. All right.
That's why I was trying
A
to.
little book.
First one back and nice and short for you.
I know, thank God, but you know him, he always comes in 1 minute before.
Now we can let Sam out of the elevator.
I'm gonna late.
What'd you say? Now we can let Sam out of the elevator.